you have a current loop, which is this red line, red loop that you see, okay, and you are passing some current through it in counterclockwise direction. Then what will happen is, what you see is that the flux lines will be produced, and they will have a pattern something like this, which will be like pointing in this direction if you use the right hand rule. One right hand rule is like where you move the thumb in the direction of the current, and then curl your fingers. What you will get is the curling of the fingers will be upwards, like something like this. They'll come here and they will go down here, right? Touch your palm. So same way, if I pass the current in the clockwise direction, what will happen is my thumb will be pointing this way, okay, and my curling will happen this way, right? It will happen this way. So what the direction of the arrow will be this way. The field will be going downwards. Now one interesting thing that we notice is with respect to the bar magnet, if you have a normal bar magnet with north and the south, or dipole, then what you see is the flux lines going this way, right, from north pole to the south pole. So this pattern and this pattern looks very similar. So what we can conclude is, and another interesting thing that you saw was like you had placed this magnet in a magnetic field which was going this side from left to right, okay, by placing two magnets, north pole and south pole of one, and then you got this flux lines. So what you had seen was when you place the loop in the plane of the parallel to the magnetic flux lines, the loop gets oriented, it gets a torque, and it gets oriented in such a way that the loop is perpendicular to the flux lines. So what you had seen was this becomes your north pole and this becomes your south pole, right? So that's the exact thing. Like the current loop here acts like a dipole, a magnetic dipole with a north pole and a south pole. The place from where the magnet, if you look from here, right, if the flux lines, it looks like the flux lines originate from the top of the loop and they terminate at the bottom of the loop. So what you can say is that the top of the loop becomes the top face of the loop becomes the north pole, the bottom face becomes the south pole. So if I had the current flowing in the opposite direction, you would have noticed that this will be your flux line. The direction of the flux line would have been like this. Now in this case, this face, the bottom face becomes your north pole and the top face becomes your south pole. So in short, a current loop acts like a magnetic dipole. Okay, so it's same as your like bar magnet. Okay, yeah. So that's what I wanted to discuss. Now, one thing is, we had looked at an example where if you want to find out the magnetic field at this point, magnetic field intensity along the axis, right? Things were easier. Like you could find out because of the symmetry. You know that this is your R, this is your R, connecting the current element to the point at which you want to find out on the axis. And now based on so this is your point, this is the current element, and this is the line joining the current element with this point, right? So now what we had noticed is that the direction of the field was, if you use the right hand rule, this is the direction of you place your hand in and then you curl your fingers in the direction of the arc, because it's a ideal cross R, right? That's your cross product. So what you would have got is the magnetic field is in this direction, right? Something like that. But there is a symmetry here. That is why what you see is that the rho component gets cancelled, and you only get is the z component, the vertical component. You only get the vertical component, the normal. The tangential component gets cancelled out because of the symmetry. Now what we see is, now instead of this axis, if you want to find out the magnetic field at any particular point which is not on the axis, then things become very difficult. I mean, the integration, the math becomes difficult. So what we will do is, we will not go through the math. What we will do is, as given in the book, we will just take the results. Okay. So first thing, you don't to make things easier, what we do is we find the magnetic potential at the point. We don't find the magnetic field. We look at the magnetic vector potential. So magnetic vector potential is mu 0 I by 4 pi dl vector by r. It's a closed loop integral, right? So then you know that what it turns out is A becomes equal to mu naught I by 4 pi into 4 pi a square sin theta divided by r square a phi. Okay, this is the output of the integration that you get. Now once you have this, I can write, I know that the magnetic dipole moment, what will be the magnetic dipole moment we had studied last time. What is the area of the loop? So if I assume that A is the radius of the loop, right? A is the radius of the loop, and my magnetic dipole moment will be I is the current flowing through it. And then if I curl my fingers in the direction of the current, I will get the normal, right? Normal for the magnetic dipole moment, that will be in the AZ direction. So I pi a square AZ is your magnetic dipole moment, M. I know that AZ cross AR is AZ cross AR. This is your AR. This direction is your AR. Into sin theta. Into sin theta will be this angle. Will give me this. Okay, the cross product will be the 90 degrees, which will give me the a phi, sin theta a phi, divided by something. So a phi into sin theta will give me this vector AZ cross AR. Okay, so that's what you will get it as. Okay, so now I plug it in here. What I get is the formula for A, the vector potential. This formula is what we will be using. A equal to mu 0 magnetic dipole moment cross product with AR vector. AR is the vector in the direction of the point, right, at which you want to find out the magnetic field intensity. Okay, so P is a point where you want to find out, it is r theta phi. So mu 0 m cross AR divided by 4 pi r square is the result that you get. And if I solve it, what I get is mu 0 m by 4 pi r cube 2 cos theta AR plus sin theta a theta is the expression for B. Okay, so right now we'll just use this result, keep this result in mind. So you can refer the book for this. Okay, so yeah, so the whole thing was we wanted to find out the magnetic field intensity at a particular point, not on the axis, which is at a distance r from the origin. This distance is r from the origin. There is a current loop which is in the xy plane and it's carrying a current I. Okay, the radius of the current loop is A. Okay, these were the conditions. So the loop was in the xy plane, exactly at the center was your z. I mean, the normal to the plane was the z-axis. It's placed exactly at with the center at the origin. Okay, and you wanted to find out magnetic field intensity at this point. So this is the expression that we get, this mu 0 m cross AR divided by 4 pi r square. Okay, clear? So one thing which I failed to mention in my explanation was, here for all this math, we are assuming that A is very much less than R. Okay, the radius of the loop is much less compared to the distance at which the magnetic field has to be found. Okay,